So Piccadilly Grand isn't actually an integrated development. Welcome back to a new episode of our Condo new launch reviews, where we peel away the hype of a particular launch to share with you our honest feedback. And for today, we are talking about Piccadilly Grand. Let's go! I'm going to start off with some of the key details about the project before jumping into the three things we like and don't quite like about it. So let's get down to it. Key details on the project. Developed by CDL and MCL Land, two very renowned developers. For those of you who follow us know how much we like MCL Land because both our purchasers, Lake Grand and Park Esta, were by MCL, so no big concerns about the developers. Located on Northumberland Road, District 8 in the RCR region, the developers have classified or have marketed this development as an integrated mixed-use project. So later on, I'm going to touch a little bit about why I disagree with this, because I don't quite agree that this is or this should be considered an integrated development, and I shall explain why later. Next up, right, 99 years leasehold, right, starting from 2nd August 2021. The development consists of 3 towers. Under the commercial portion, right, we expect some retail, F&B, and a childcare center. 407 units ranging from 1 to 5 bedrooms, including 4-bedroom dual key, which I find quite interesting, and we will also touch on that a little later on. So 407 units, pretty decent size, especially for the Farrer Park area. So again, right, you know how much we like slightly larger developments because of the amount of transactions that they provide. And 400 units, I would classify it as a healthy size. It's 94,000 square feet of land, pretty good size as well. But do note that there's only going to be an 80% provision for car park lots because of its proximity to the MRT, with 330 for residential and 14 for commercial. Next up, right, probably one of the most important points to note for potential buyers, it's the date of expected vacant possession at 2nd August 2026. So that's 4 years from now, 4.5 years from now. While, again, later on I'm going to touch on one of the points why I quite like the fact that it's going to be completed in 2026. For those of you who are purchasing for your own stay and have to sell a property and go out on rental while waiting for this particular project, I guess this may be a point to consider because you have to rent for close to 4.5 years. Right. Next up, the Architects ADDP Architects, really impressive portfolio of projects, right? We're going to put it down over here. Maincon China Construction. I think a lot of people are concerned with having China contractors, but China Construction has done very, very well recently with a lot of their projects they have done. They actually built our previous place over at Lake Grand, and I must say I was pretty impressed with their build quality. So, and as a matter of fact, they are doing a lot of projects recently. So, no big concerns over there. And that's about it for the key details. Next up, let's take a look at the unit mix. So onto the unit mix. What's interesting is that the developers have split the small unit types and larger unit types right down the middle, with 50% going to 1 and 2 bedrooms and 50% going to 3, 4 and 5 bedrooms. And so what I've also done for you guys is given you an idea on what the expected prices will be like depending on the different per square feet, right? Starting from 2,000 PSF to 2,300 PSF, and I'm gonna put it like right here so you can take a look at it. Okay, so next up, right, let's take a look at the site plan. Because the fact that the development is on a rectangular piece of land with the length facing east-west, the architects were forced to split it into 3 blocks and have a block-to-block distance of only 22 meters to avoid having the bulk of the units facing east and west. So while 22 meters isn't the furthest block-to-block distance we can hope for, but I think they tried their best by not having them directly side by side, so you still have like units like B over here still having a pretty unblocked view, and units over here having a unblocked view. But that's it. With this, we can only have a 35 meters lap pool, not the full Olympic size 50 meters. Other than that, I guess, you know, they have all the necessary facilities that you hope for, with, you know, spa pools, dining room, co-working lounge, but no tennis court. We do have a multi-purpose court though, so I don't think they had enough space for a tennis court. But what I do like about Piccadilly Grand is the fact that we have a proper and sort of quite grand arrival clubhouse, something quite unique and something lacking in other integrated and mixed-use developments, because for those they tend to have, because the fact that the bigger spaces are taken up with the malls and the commercial areas, the entrance lobby tend to be a lot smaller in the other developments. So I think they have made it a point to have a proper arrival clubhouse for Piccadilly Grand, which will help it stand out in the resale market, because that's where the buyers will step in and have a feel of the place, and it will be quite impressive for them to walk into at least a proper arrival clubhouse, as opposed to some of the other mixed developments that I've been to, whereby sometimes the whole experience of visiting a integrated development or mixed-use development, especially at the ground floor, most of the times they get lost before they can even get up to the residential portion, and that just doesn't create such a good first impression. So I think this is one of the things I quite like about Piccadilly Grand. So on to the 3 things we like about Piccadilly Grand. Point number 1, convenience. So it's obviously a supremely convenient location, being linked directly to Farrer Park MRT, fully sheltered. So on top of Farrer Park MRT, we have Farrer Park Hospital. So if you want to do your full body checkup, you can just go over there. And we are actually located in between 2 hospitals, right? With Farrer Park Hospital on one side and KK Hospital on the other side. So, you know, you have plenty of help if you are not feeling particularly well. For F&B options, we have the whole row of shop houses along Racecourse Road with the famous Mutu's Curry. And for 24-hour shopping, we are just a stone's throw away from Mustafa Shopping Centre. So you basically don't have to buy anything and keep it at home, because if you need anything, you just go to Mustafa and buy it, right? But jokes aside, with its proximity to the city centre, right, you'll be hard-pressed to find a similar, you know, mixed-use integrated development this close to town at this sort of price point. And for MRTs, Farrer Park is just 2 stops away from Dhoby Ghaut, 3 stops away from City Hall, and 4 stops away from Orchard Road. So on to the second point I like about Piccadilly Grand, it's TOP timing. So if we look at the TOP supply chart, golden chart, TOP supply, this chart, okay? It is my favorite chart, right, somewhere over here. Piccadilly Grand TOPing between 2025 to 2026 falls within a period of very low TOP supply. Right? The last time that happened was between 2020 and 2021. Okay, so how do you utilize the TOP supply chart to maximize the profits for your property investments? I'm not going to talk about it that much in this video because that's not the focus, but I'm going to put in the link to some of the many videos that I've done, right? Somewhere in the description or somewhere around this video, so you can go there and take a look at it, right? But what I'll do is to share with you some examples of the projects that TOP between 2020 and 2021, showing you the kind of profits that they managed to achieve by TOPing during a period of low supply. Okay, let's take a look. So, first example, Seaside Residences located in Siglap. So, Seaside Residences, yeah, you see, TOP during 2021, right, with 62 profitable transactions and 2 unprofitable transactions. And we can see very, very good annualized return rates between 5%, 4%, 3%, even up to 6% annualized returns. We have 2 bedrooms, 700 plus square feet making $400,000. We have just 1 bedrooms, if I'm not wrong, 560 square feet also can make $160 over $1,000. So by TOPing during a period of low supply, right, they managed to achieve really strong profits. Second example, over at Tanah Merah, Grandeur Park, right? So for those of you who do a fair bit of research on the property market, you know Tanah Merah didn't quite used to do well in terms of capital appreciation for their projects, but Grandeur Park managed to break that trend. And I guess one of the reasons was because it TOP during a timing of low supply, right, with its TOP in 2020. So over here you can see, right, just a 1 bedroom at 420 square feet managed to achieve $140,000 in profit, 4% annualized, right? As you can see, the average annualized return rates hover at about the 4% mark, right? A larger unit, 1,744 square feet, made $755,000, 7.9% annualized profit. So here are some of the examples of projects that TOP during a period of low supply managing to achieve really, really good profits. And that is the second reason why I like the TOP timing and Piccadilly Grand as a whole. And to our third and last point on what we like about Piccadilly Grand, the future land plots. So if you took a walk around the area, you notice around the Piccadilly side, there's a lot of open spaces, right? And as well as we have this Farrer Park field over here, and we have a temporary LTA office over here, right? A lot of open space. And if you go and look into greater detail, and I'm swapping over to the URA master plan, you're going to notice that these plots are slated for residential use. While this plot over here has been put under the care of HDB, the other 3 plots have not been assigned to any particular agency as yet. So if we are buying into Piccadilly Grand, obviously we're going to hope that these 3 plots come up as a private residential development. But another thing that jumps out to me would be the sheer size of these 4 plots, right? So Piccadilly over here, we have 400 units. And if you compare the size of it, can you imagine just how many units those plots will offer, right? So with this area being such a prime location, I don't expect for all 4 plots to be slated for HDB use. So minimally, I think one of the plots will be given for private use. And with that, obviously it's going to help push Piccadilly prices up. And speaking of the things I like cute puppies as well. And if you click on the like and subscribe button, I'm going to share with you a picture of that cute puppy in the next 3 seconds. So 3, 2, 1. So thank you so much. That will help out the channel a ton. And now back to the video. Now, on to the 3 things we don't quite like about Piccadilly Grand. Number 1, the lack of organic demand. The reason for the lack of organic demand is because most of us don't necessarily think about Farrer Park as a place that we want to live in. While URA has put in place plans to rejuvenate the area by introducing more housing, I don't foresee the stigma associated with the area going away anytime soon. But that being said, at least it's not as bad as Geylang. The banks are willing to loan 75% for purchases of properties in that area. Point number 2, the price trends of surrounding developments. The transactions in the area have been negatively affected by all the losses made in all these small freehold developments, so it's not necessarily the most popular area with investors. But that said, we do have the slightly bigger developments such as City Square Residences and the most recent Sturdy Residences performing well with sufficient holding period. With 400 units, I expect Piccadilly to perform closer to Sturdy and City Square as opposed to the loss-making freehold boutique developments. But do bear in mind, with all the above mentioned points, you may take a while to sell your unit in the resale market. On to our third and final point, the fact that Piccadilly Grand isn't quite considered an integrated development. And why do I say that? We got to take a look at the URA master plan. So here we are. Piccadilly Grand. As you can see, the color of the land plot is this light pink, and in the classification, it states residential with commercial at first story. But if we take a look at the proper integrated developments, of which the list I'm going to put over here, and there's 18 of them, the color of the land plots, right, should be this light orange. And we see in the legend it states commercial and residential. So this is Woodley Residences, and this is the Sentries on top of Jurong Point. So while you're still going to get shops on level 1, you don't quite get a full shopping center under your residences, and just want to make sure that it's not the same as the other 18 integrated developments when you buy Piccadilly Grand. In summary, Piccadilly Grand offers superb convenience at a price point that is hard to match for its proximity to the city and reaching its TOP at a really interesting time. But because of the fact that it's not located in an area with strong organic demand, you need to plan for a slightly longer holding period. The question is, how do you do that? Have you also considered some of the viable alternatives to Piccadilly? For example, would Sturdy or City Square Residences make more sense? And that's where we are here to help. So this is what it looks like to work with us before the purchase, during the purchase, and after the purchase. All of which with the sole purpose to make sure that you have a solid bulletproof property plan. And before we go, we have a whole library of materials to help you make the best decision possible for your purchase or sale. Right. And lastly, if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe as it will help out the channel a ton. Till next time, bye bye. I'm going to start off with a key. I'm going to start off with. Did you know Piccadilly Grand shouldn't actually be considered an integrated? I'm going to show you. Oh shit. Do I need to clap? I just clap. On to. Wait, again. 3, 2, 1.